This is going to be my first preview for the Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Chiefs. I'm going to focus on the Eagles offense for probably the first two videos. This one I intend to come out on Monday night or Monday afternoon. Perhaps the second will come out overnight Monday into Tuesday. Look, the Eagles offense is very unique from the standpoint of it's a true spread offense. They get a lot of people involved, hence the title, many hands, light work. Spread offense isn't just something that spreads people horizontally with, multiple receivers, either 10 personnel or 11 personnel, in some cases 12 personnel. It's not just spreading you by alignment, it's how you distribute the football. It's having a plan for distributing the football not evenly, not even, distribution that's balanced or equitable, but one that forces the defense to defend everyone, forces the defense to defend every inch of the field horizontally and vertically. That to me is what I think of when I think of a spread offense. And the Eagles offense has looked like that really for two seasons in a lot of ways, but the addition of AJ Brown clearly, created a pecking order, created a dangerous asset as the X receiver, or they move him around sometimes, don't get me wrong, but force defenses to defend the backside of formations when he is the X receiver. This video is going to focus on really two elements. It's going to focus on A.J. Brown's impact as the X receiver, briefly show 6 or 7 plays from 2022, and then talk about two versions of the Eagles RPOs that one of which is really amazing to me and fun to watch every time they run it. I probably only have film of about 8 or 10 examples of it. Look, Jalen Hurts been playing fantastic in 2022. For a lot of 2021, he played well. I understand there were some exceptions. You had a 3-interception game against the Giants in the Week 12, 13-7 loss. It was really poor. Two of those decisions were bad. The playoff loss down in Tampa Bay, that offense didn't really get going until, I think, late third quarter or something like that, and he didn't play well. Threw the ball 43 times. So don't get me wrong, there were some exceptions, and he's certainly been better in 2022. A.J. Brown made things better, but I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of the things that he's doing in 2022, Jalen Hurts, he was doing in 2021. There may just not have been as much space. A.J. Brown has created space, horizontal space and vertical space that has impacted everyone else. But the creativity of the offense, the execution, was there in large part in 2021, not to this extent, because his record as a starting quarterback was only 8-7 last year. I think it was 14-1 this year. This is 2021 film, week 1. Now, I'm only showing this to illustrate that Jalen Hurts has been playing well for 30 weeks as a starter in the NFL. The talent around him got better, A.J. Brown. When you get the end zone angle of this throw, you'll see how impressive it is, if you ask me. Looks like some version of like almost two-man by the Falcons. Certainly looks like you've got man across the board here, and then you got man on the running back into the boundary. The Eagles love to set the running back, like a lot of spread teams, into the boundary, often with the tight end. Let's check out the end zone angle so you can see this, and then we'll move on to some A.J. Brown film. Again, it's two-man, so you've got the tight end who is going to be the target and catch the touchdown. You're going to see him get fronted up by this, I think, nickel defender 45 in the end zone. Hurts scrambles out. Look at the leverage that the tight end has, but you've got two players looking right at the quarterback, not guarding anyone, hence the term two-man. Watch where Jalen Hurts throws his football. That's incredible. He threw it on the, quote, some people would say wrong side, but he threw it into the space that was there, giving the receiver a chance to adjust. That is not an easy throw to make. Moving to your right, that's not an easy decision to make in the midst of this. Last year, I think I made probably 4 videos about Jalen Hurts. Didn't make as many this year. Didn't have a whole lot of time. I felt like he was underrated in terms of how he played last year. Let's move on to A.J. Brown film. Look, he started off week 1 as the backside X, making these in cuts. Sometimes there was an RPO associated with it, breaking tackles, had an impact immediately, and forced teams to defend the width of the field, into the boundary, to the field, wherever you line him up, you've got to account for him. And I don't think teams like the Lions, especially early on, understood that you're going to have to force someone else to beat you. You can't let this man get it. The Chiefs, if you ask me, they have a lot of rookies out there. They play incredibly hard. I thought they played well against the Bengals. I think there is still the matchup issue like a Jamar Chase here, except A.J. Brown's like a little bit of Jamar Chase and a little bit of T. Higgins. Hopefully I said that in a way that makes sense. Whereas the Chiefs were playing essentially two-man covering up covering up Chase and covering up Higgins with a safety in passing situations, forcing someone else to beat them. I think they've got to do that against A.J. Brown, to be honest with you. I don't see anyone on their team that's just going to consistently cover him and keep him from getting open and getting some separation. When I say he's the backside X, it doesn't mean he's always soloed up by himself. This is a flex formation, so 2-by-2 spread. Good at finding space in zone. Jalen Hurts clearly looks for him on third down. That was a 3rd and long, by the way, against the Vikings. And you would too, right? I mean, we all would if we had an A.J. Brown on our team. He's Devonta Smith playing well, the tight end Goddard, other guys making plays. You can throw the ball up to him against man. There's really nothing you can't do with A.J. Brown. I think he has forced teams to defend the entire width of the field because you can put him backside like you see here, and trips generally, you're going to elicit some type of loaded coverage to trips, 4/3. In this case, the Giants under Wink Martindale, appear to be playing some kind of drop man, and it isolates the backside corner. I just don't think the Chiefs have the ability to do this against A.J. Brown, meaning isolate the corner. A.J. Brown can beat you deep. He can beat you on the in cut. You're going to see 2 examples of him coming back to the football here against the Steelers, one of which is going to be against tighter coverage than what you see right there. Him and Jalen Hurts have a connection. Hurts trusts him. Huge asset where you can just kind of play matchup football. Okay, is the guy guarding him good enough to guard him? In a lot of cases this year, he was not. Credit to the Eagles, though, I'll be honest with you. I feel like there were not many times this year where they just force-fed him the football with 14 targets like you see certain receivers get. I'll mention one, like not all the time, but DeAndre Hopkins' first 3 or 4 games back, I feel like they were really focusing on getting him the football. The Eagles' offense, I think, is balanced. I think there's plenty of times where they come up to the line. Jalen Hurts sees what's there, presumes the coverage based on whatever he's seen. Again, he's the backside X here with 3 receivers to the top side. If you're going to choose to isolate one corner down here, it better be a damn good one. A.J. Brown can take you vertical. You saw him on the in cuts early against the Lions, sitting down in zone against the Vikings. Bring it back to the sideline on a previous play against the Steelers I showed you, and this one's just a stop coming back to the football. Not even sure if he got the first down. I know it's close. Big, physical, presents matchup problems. Don't get me wrong, the Eagles are clearly way better in 2022 than they were in 2021. What I'm saying is I believe A.J. Brown opened up space that was already there, meaning by alignment, by formation, by design call, the Eagles were already doing some of the things that they still do. It's just that A.J. Brown, his presence has made what was a 3-yard space a 5-yard space. It's a very simplistic, comparison there. But my point is, I think the Eagles' offense was already on its way, and A.J. Brown just A, sped up the process, and B, gave it exponential growth where you wouldn't have expected that much growth. So let's talk about one of the RPOs they do. Going to have the running back sometimes on the same side as the tight end. It doesn't really matter here because you got a bunch configuration down to the bottom of the screen. And normally if the tight end is on this side, you're going to get the back crossing face and the tight end, maybe releasing out into the flats, trying to draw a defender out of the box. In this case, the tight end is detached in the bunch with A.J. Brown. So you've got 3/3. It ends up being a touchdown for Miles Sanders. The real interesting element to this isn't the numbers, okay? You got 3 on 3. The quarterback is the 4th player away from the point of attack, with the point of attack going here. Then you have, additionally, the 4th player is this apex inside linebacker, which I think is Devin Lloyd. Jalen Hurts appears to be looking right at him to me. And you will get the end zone angle to confirm this if you wish. Nice play design, but one thing I want to mention is how they're using Jason Kelce as a puller here. It's just pin pull is all it is. I think they're generally running this back to a 1 technique D-tackle so the guard can block down, maybe a 2-eye, and then the center can check and then pull. That's how good Kelce is. He appears to be checking this inside linebacker and then pulling. Now the backside guard, who's pretty damn good too, gets up to him, so it doesn't matter. Give you the end zone angle. We'll let you watch it a couple times before I talk about it a little bit more. Again, you got bunch out to the left with the possibility of throwing a screen out there to the tight end. leaving these guys totally unblocked. So I said 4-on-4 earlier, or four out for the offense, 4 out for the defense, but you really got 6 out for the defense because they're chasing from behind. Left guard's going up to get the mic, block a down block with the pin, basically. And the pull is Kelsey, and he goes out and picks someone up. I think he gets the key block, along with the left guard getting up on Oluwakin. Sanders takes it into the end zone. Pin, pull, RPO, if you want to call it that, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Backside guys are definitely leaving everyone, putting them in conflict. Are they going to chase? And then if Hurts throws the football out here to the bubble, then now, like I said, now it's 3-on-3 out there with the fourth guy being this inside linebacker chasing from inside out. Again, that's if Hurts keeps the football and throws it out. So if you see a bunch alignment in the Super Bowl with the running back to the side of the bunch, you can look for that play. See how the Chiefs defend it. This time they're running it from a 2-by-2 set, a flex or double twins formation. Some people just call it spread. Again, Kelsey is pulling. It's a big gain for, I think it's an 8-yard gain. They ran the same play on the very next play, I believe. 1st and 10, first play of the drive. One thing that they do when they run this is the receiver opposite the running back goes in and tries to get the third defender from the sideline. Really, it's the second, depending on how you do your count. You either count it, second level players 1, 2, or if you count the third level players, 1, 2, 3. Some people count the other way. They count from the inside, first guy outside the box. Whatever way people count, the receiver is going and getting the number 2 second level defender. Kelsey is pulling, gets involved, doesn't get a tremendous block. And again, that receiver, I think Watkins kind of misses his block. You'll get the end zone angle of this. It's a really cool play. And it looks benign from the standpoint of the alignment. This time you don't have bunch to the same side of the back, but what you do have is to the boundary, the tight end and running back on the same side, what I call a gun. So in the Super Bowl, if you see the running back tight end into the boundary, you can look for these RPOs. The Eagles run them a lot. They're very efficient at it. You can see Kelsey hunting the Mike linebacker. I think it's Watkins. I hope I'm not saying the wrong guy. Has lost there against that number 2 defender, as I called it. Still an 8-yard gain for Gainwell. Cool concept. All right, so again, tight end, running back into the boundary against the Vikings. When they do this, when they have the tight end next to the running back and what I call a gun, tight end's generally going to run like a shoot route or out into the flats. He's trying to hold a backside defender. So again, a great job by Kelsey of pulling. So he, being the tight end, is trying to hold this defender by running, maybe a shoot route. Maybe he sits down here in case that linebacker goes with it. And then in that case, if that is Hurts' read, then Hurts will keep it. Sometimes it looks like to me he's reading either one of these guys. Kelsey pulling and wrapping. Checks the first window, gets through the second window, gets 54. You'll see it from the end zone angle. Really cool. He's going to pull. There's going to be a small window here. The linebacker's not going to fit through it. And then Kelsey's going to go back outside of another block that's occurring, moving laterally. It's a great concept. Takes advantage of Kelsey's athleticism, his agility. You can see there's the first window I'm talking about. Looks like Kelsey would move here, but he reads this. Again, it's the receiver opposite the running back. Coming down and blocking, not getting a tremendous block. In this case, it actually looked like it was the same guy, Watkins 16. Kelsey doesn't insert into that window because the linebacker doesn't. He's just matching him, loops around, goes and gets him. I think it's a 14-yard gain. Beautiful play. Love how it takes advantage of the linebacker rules, puts them in conflict. And when you add A.J. Brown into the mix, into the boundary, so now you've got Brown, the tight end, and the running back into the boundary, and they can run this play away from A.J. Brown. It almost forces you to keep the nickel to the field, meaning the defense. But you've got A.J. Brown back here. You want to be able to help this backside corner. The conflict that they're putting people in horizontally, these are things that they were doing in 2021, don't get me wrong. But having A.J. Brown on that backside, I think, just creates more problems. Every iteration of this isn't going to be a gain, to be honest with you. But you can see that if you're talking about who's open, you would say the tight end, right? The tight end is open. But that's not exactly who Hurts is reading. He's generally going to be reading a second-level defender. In some cases, It looks like he's reading, what some people would call the Mike, to the inside linebacker to the field. Vikings are able to stack it up. Giants, I think, defend this one well out of a flex formation. Again, tight end, running back, same side. Kelsey's pulling. My apologies, it's the next one. Kelsey's pulling. So spread formations, 2x2 generally, although the first one I showed you was a bunch. Three receivers compressed. RPOs, they run them well. They utilize Kelsey as an insert. Essentially, you're talking about Kelsey is playing fullback here. That's what he's doing. It's a pin pull, but he's going and ISO blocking frontside inside linebacker. That's just a fullback's job, really. Kelsey's just athletic enough and can pull or wrap, and do it when you have a 2-eye or a 1. All right, this is the last one I'm going to show you of this, and then we'll go to a more standardized RPO that I call ace gun. It's twin slot under center. So now the running back isn't on the same side as the tight end because the quarterback's under center. So they run it here. The Steelers kind of stack it up. I think that's Highsmith over there. He's a fantastic football player, diving back into the B gap to make the tackle. But you can see how quick Kelsey's getting through here. I mean, this is insane how quick he is. If you get a better block on Highsmith, if Highsmith doesn't play it so well, then I think you're going to have a nice play, even though Devin Bush comes downhill and him and Kelsey, create a train wreck right at the line of scrimmage. So they will run it from under center, but my suggestion to you is when you see tight end, running back, same side. Now the tight end isn't here; he's out to this here. He's out apex in a bunch. This is the first play I showed you. When you see that any of these formational alignments in the Super Bowl, tight end, running back, same side, right there. That's the second play I showed you. Third. Any of those alignments, you can think that you probably are going to get an RPO look with the tight end releasing outside. Now, this is out of 11 personnel. I'll show some 12 personnel stuff in another video. I'm going to begin the next video, which I'll link up here in the top right. I'm going to begin the next video with a different iteration of an RPO. I wanted to keep these at 15 minutes. I feel like anything beyond 15, people are losing interest, number one. Number two, the next RPO that I'm going to talk about is going to be out of ace gun, a compressed tight formation, and it's probably going to be an 8 to 10 minute section in and of itself. So I'm going to cut this one here. Just consider this part one of the Eagles' true spread offense preview for the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. If you guys appreciate this video, if you like it, if you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comment section. If you didn't, if you think there's some missing elements, you can go ahead and let me know, but I'm partitioning this just so you know. This is the first part was just talking about A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, his season and how efficient and amazing he was. And then half of, or part of, their use of RPOs to really punish the defense and force them to make choose between two horrible solutions, which is double team A.J. Brown and get beat with the run game opposite that or away from that. Or don't double team or allocate enough resources to stop A.J. Brown, and then probably he eats you up as well. If you think other people would enjoy this content and enjoy this video, please consider sharing the link on social media to help the video get more reach.